Okay, click to skip, and we're going to play this again. It's pretty weird. Frames per second.
All of his
Okay.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So if you want to get to the window, the secret window ending, you have to go on this chair, on this computer, and then try to get over this wall here. No idea how I should do it though. There should be a way to do it. Come on. Come on. We're gonna do this. Gonna get over this wall. No, over the wall. Should I duck? Okay, ducking helps. I was just stuck with my head on ceiling. Okay, so the weird thing is if you go here, so this is a secret window ending. Well, it's not the ending yet, but it's so if you go on this desk, go over this wall, and then you can just walk right through this window. And I have no idea what happens
At first,
if you
Stanley
do that.
assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are you sick of this gag? Seriously? I can still see the windows. It's fun. Let's see. If I click yes, let's just say yes, and then maybe it's gonna start over again, and the next time I'm gonna click no.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Oh no, really?
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible.
Quite.
And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Nice song. Oh, it's not over yet, okay. Can't get out of here. Dum. Okay. I wonder if the guitar solo is gonna last for long. Start it again. Huh. I think this is the only thing I'm gonna hear or see or whatever in this room now. Maybe we should just restart the game. Yeah. Oh, wait. Never mind. The guitar solo stopped. So, is he just gonna do nothing? Or is he gonna say anything? Not, there's not a lot of stuff happening here. Can't get back up, of course. Yeah, that would be weird. There ain't really a lot I can do. I managed to survive the song, and the song stopped. Now this is just an empty room with a few windows in it, and nothing else. The narrator stopped talking, the music stopped. And so let's just hit escape and try this again with the other and try to say we like it there. So we're gonna...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So we're going back into the window, and then if we jump down and he presents us with an option, we're gonna click the other option. What? I can't... Okay, there we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Let's say no.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken
hope
the
so.
same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option. And now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Well, okay. It's a pretty good gag. Should I be able to click and up the other options? So would I be able to click other options? Now, so it's a pretty good gag. Messing with the player's mind. Well, the whole game is about messing with the player's mind, but still. Can't click the buttons anymore. No, he's not really gonna say anything anymore. So I think this is the end. I think this is the end of this ending then, because I really don't see how I can do anything here except click, except just start over again. Can't click any of those options anymore. Can't click, are you sick of the gag? No. So no, there's nothing else I can do, so I'm gonna restart the game. Begin the game again.